The story kicks off with a boy named Min. He lives with his grandmother and mother, but a few days earlier, a vehicle hits his mother near her taxi, which results in her death. After her death, all the responsibilities of the house and taking care of his grandmother fall onto Min's shoulders. He stops going to college and starts driving his mother's taxi. Min keeps driving from early morning to late at night. One day, a passenger gets into Min's taxi and tells him that he needs to reach his destination quickly. That passenger is on his way to his child's school, and Min makes sure he reaches there on time. The man becomes very happy after meeting his daughter, and seeing him happy makes Min feel happy as well. Then the story moves to Shayok, Min's best friend. Although Shayok's family is very rich, they throw him out of the house so that he can become something on his own. After that, Shayok begins driving a taxi and now runs several taxis himself. One day, Shayok and Min go to collect an expensive Italian speaker, but before they reach, some thieves steal it and run away. Min chases them and finally, with the help of a few police officers, catches them. Those thieves were responsible for several nighttime robberies, so the officers thank Min for helping catch them. The next morning, Min prepares breakfast for his grandmother and himself and sets off for work. While cleaning his taxi, he finds a phone under the back seat. Min assumes the phone belongs to one of his passengers. As he tries to switch it on, a strong electric shock hits him. At that moment, a man comes up to him and informs him that his home loan EMI hasn't been paid for the past 3 months. If the amount isn't cleared by next month, the house will be sold to someone else. Listening to this leaves Min extremely stressed, and he starts wondering how to arrange such a large amount in such a short time. That night, a group of girls enters Min's taxi. They are wearing ghost makeup. The girls ask Min to take them to the cemetery. Hearing this scares Min, but when he arrives at the cemetery, he finds a film shoot going on. He drops the girls there and begins driving back home. While driving, he notices in the mirror that a girl is sitting on the back seat of the taxi. The girl appears terrifying. He thinks she must be one of the girls from earlier, so he tells her that her friends already got out and wonders why she is still in the car. The girl responds that she will also get out. When Min stops the taxi to let her out, she passes through the taxi door without opening it. As she walks away from the taxi, some mysterious energy pushes her back inside. Witnessing all this causes Min to faint. When he wakes up, he thinks he just saw a dream, but then he finds the same girl sitting on the passenger seat next to him. This terrifies him and he jumps out of the taxi and starts running. Meanwhile, a police officer comes to move the car, left in the middle of the road. Min tells the officer that there is something strange in his car and requests the officer to check it, but when the officer checks, no one is found. Min gets back into the taxi, but the girl appears again. Min is frightened. The girl asks if he knows who she is and how she ended up there. Min tells her he doesn't know her and pleads with her to leave, but the spirit is unable to leave the taxi. Every time she tries to get out, she returns inside because for some unknown reason, she is connected to that taxi. At the same time, near the cemetery, a man is seen visiting someone's grave. Just then, he receives a message from a police officer stating that his daughter's case has been handed over to a new officer, who will soon begin the investigation. The man looks at a photo of his daughter, and it is revealed to be the same girl whose spirit is in Min's taxi. Her name is Kang. Back in the taxi, Min is trying to find passengers, with Kang's spirit still inside the vehicle because he has no other choice. But the presence of Kang in the taxi causes discomfort to every passenger who enters. They feel uneasy and get off midway, which leads to financial losses for Min. He starts worrying that if this continues, how will he repay the loan? That night, Min returns home. Kong is still with him because he has parked the taxi just a little distance from the house. Otherwise, Kong's spirit would disconnect and remain outside. Kong begins looking around and feels as if she has seen this place before. When Min's grandmother sees him, she scolds him for coming home so late. After that, Min goes to sleep, but he is haunted by nightmares all night. The next morning, his grandmother tells him to take her to the temple. Min refuses because the spirit of Kang is inside the taxi and it might affect his grandmother's health. But his grandmother does not listen and sits inside the taxi anyway. Min took his grandmother to the temple and kept asking her throughout the way how she was feeling. After some time, even the grandmother started feeling very strange, but by then they reached the temple. The grandmother went inside while Min stood outside and asked some people to perform a spiritual cleansing ritual on his car. But the ritual started causing Kang a lot of pain, so she pleaded with Min to make them stop, saying that her ears were hurting badly. Min then asked the people to stop the ritual. Just then, Min received a phone call. It was from a doctor, and he went to pick him up. When the doctor sat inside the taxi, he didn't feel anything strange. Seeing this, Kang told Min that clearly nothing was happening because of her, and everything that had been going on was not her fault. After this, Min took the doctor to the hospital. Inside the hospital, a girl was being brought out of an ambulance, and seeing this scene triggered a memory in Min's mind. It was revealed that the same doctor had once tried to save Min's mother. Wanting to thank the doctor, Min took some gifts for him. Inside the hospital, Min also met his friend Suri and thanked both of them. Kang witnessed everything silently. Later, Min headed home, and Kang requested him to park the taxi near the house that night, as there were no streetlights outside and it scared her. Min jokingly asked how a ghost could be afraid of the dark, but he still agreed and parked the taxi near the house. The house and the area around it started seeming even more familiar to Kang. But after her death, she lost her memory, so she could not remember anything. The next morning, Kang behaved very kindly with Min, because the night before, Min had told her that he needed money to repay his home loan. Kang suggested that from now on he should let passengers sit in the back while she would sit in the front seat. On the way, they found a passenger. Min opened the door for him and asked him to come in. The man asked if Min could see him and if he could really sit inside. Min didn't understand what the man meant and said yes. But the man passed straight through the taxi door and sat inside, which shocked both Min and Kang. Min immediately pulled the car over and said that his taxi was not a gathering place for ghosts, and now it seemed like he got one ghost for free with another. Angrily, Min went to sell his taxi so he could get rid of the ghosts. But there, he encountered yet another spirit. That ghost folded his hands and pleaded with Min to help him. Before the man's death, his daughter's life was in danger, and he was on his way to sell some gold jewelry for her treatment, but he met with an accident on the way. He now requested Min to take the gold to his daughter. Min agreed to help and left to find the girl. Outside the hospital, the child was alone. When her mother came out, the girl told her that there was no need to worry anymore. She explained that one of her dad's friends had come and told her that her dad had asked him to give her something. Seeing all of this, the girl's mother became very emotional, and watching them made Min, Kang, and the third ghost emotional too. The girl's father was also standing there, looking very happy, and then he disappeared. It meant his final wish had been fulfilled, and his soul had found peace. The girl then came to Min and placed a golden ring in his hand. She said her father had told her that when his friend came to give her the rings, she should give one back to him. Seeing this made Min very emotional. Kang then gave him an idea. She said that since there were already 2 spirits in his taxi, no normal passenger would want to get in, so he might as well turn his taxi into a ghost taxi, where he could fulfill the last wishes of spirits. In return, he might receive gold or money. Min liked the idea and started dreaming that he had become very rich. Then the third ghost, whose name was Yon, told him that he possessed several gold biscuits, which meant Min could repay all his loans at once. Excited, Min left immediately for Yon's house, but when he reached the house, Yon told him that he had only 1 gold biscuit. Hearing this made Min extremely angry, and he started thinking that these ghosts were going to drive him crazy. Yon then told him about his last wish. He explained that he had a wife, and while he was alive, his dream was to gift her a bathtub because he was not rich enough to afford one. Now that he was dead, he still wanted to give her that gift. That meant Min would have to buy the bathtub by selling the gold, and only the remaining money would be his. Listening to this made Min even angrier because before arriving, Yun had said he had lots of gold biscuits. Frustrated, Min turned around and left for home, while Yun remained behind. Kang tried to explain to Min that he should help them, but by this point, Min was extremely angry and wasn't ready to listen to anyone. Later, when he was speaking to his grandmother at home, he remembered how, as a child, his mother used to bathe him in a bathtub. The next day, he took Kang with him and headed to Yun's house. King thought to herself that although Min constantly talked about money, he was actually a very kind-hearted person. When they arrived, Yun was very happy to see him. Min had gone there pretending to be Yun's cousin. Yun's wife, Sue, invited him inside. Then, while keeping Sue busy with some chores, Min sneaked into the hiding spot and took the gold biscuit that Yun had hidden. The plan was a complete success. But just then, Sue received a call from a man who informed her that her husband's compensation had been processed and she could now collect it. Yun had died while working for a company, and in return, the company was supposed to provide a large compensation amount to his family. When they reached the location to claim the compensation, suddenly Yun's mother appeared. She began sharing her grief with Sue and even went ahead and arranged a memorial for her son. At the event, she offered kiwi fruit, which Yun was allergic to, but she insisted that it was her son's favorite. Seeing all this, Yun told Min that his mother had abandoned him at an orphanage many years ago, and he couldn't understand how she suddenly came back now. Young's supposed mother asked Sue how her marriage had been. Sue explained that they were never officially married, but they had been in love and lived together. Taking advantage of this, the woman went ahead and claimed the entire compensation amount, as Yun and Sue were not legally husband and wife. When she received the amount, Yun was shocked. But Min suspected that she wasn't really Yun's mother. Since she had left him when he was a child, he had no idea what his mother would look like when she aged. Min followed the woman to her house where he found one of her photos, but it didn't reveal much. Then he asked Yun if there was anything that could help them confirm whether she was truly his mother. Yun mentioned that his mother had a scar on her right hand. When Min checked, he found the same scar on this woman's hand. Yet she accused Min and Sue of killing her son. Hearing this, Sue fainted on the spot. Watching everything, Kang grew extremely angry. At the hospital, Dojin informed them that Sue was 3 months pregnant and needed to take care of herself. Upon hearing this, Min got an idea. He had a DNA test done using the woman's sample, and it turned out that her DNA didn't match Yun's. This proved she wasn't his real mother. But before they could call the police, the two fraudsters escaped from the scene. Later, as Min was dropping Sue home, he saw the compensation document lying in his taxi. He went upstairs to return it, but the door was locked. Inside, the two frauds had already tied up Sue and were threatening her, saying they would kill her if she didn't give them the money. Despite trying hard, Min couldn't open the door. Yun, forced to watch his wife suffer helplessly, began praying to God and slammed the door with all his strength. Suddenly, a miracle occurred and the door burst open. Min rushed in and fought the two attackers, eventually overpowering them. The police soon arrived and took the frauds into custody. Somehow, Yun's wife survived. After this, Min confessed to Sue that he wasn't really her husband's cousin. In fact, he didn't even know them before. He told her that he had met her husband's spirit, who had requested his help. Sue found this very strange and listened in shock. Min told her that Yun was right there with them and that he could hear and see her. But she didn't believe anything he said. Sue Min began repeating the exact words that Yun was saying so that she could hear her husband's message through him. Yun asked Sue if she remembered how they used to leave early for school just so they could see the stars together in the sky. Since they had no one in this world, they felt as if the stars belonged to them. He reminded her of how he once said that if they ever had a baby, they would name it Star. He pleaded with her to please name the baby that, and said that if he ever missed the child, he would look at the sky and see them in the stars. Hearing all of this, Sue broke down emotionally. She could not believe she was really listening to her husband's words. Yun then asked for forgiveness for leaving her alone in this world. With a smile, his spirit disappeared and his soul had finally found peace. After that, Min and Kang returned home. Upon reaching, it was revealed that the police suspected that Min's mother's accident might actually have been a murder. They were still searching for the person who hit her from behind. On that day, the police also came to speak to Min's grandmother regarding the case. While the grandmother was talking to them, Min suddenly noticed something surprising, that Kang was wearing a hairband on her hand, and it was the same one that had belonged to his mother. Seeing this left him shocked, and he began wondering how his mother's hairband ended up with Kang. Just then, Grandma showed a photo to Min's mother on her phone and asked him who the sweet girl on his mother's phone was. Seeing this, Min was shocked to discover that his mom and Kang were in a photo together. Kang saw the photo and happily remarked that she looked just like a fairy. Min teased her, saying she looked more like a witch. But afterward, he kept wondering how Kang knew his mother. The next morning, an officer summoned Min for a meeting, where they subtly accused him, implying that maybe he was the one who had killed his own mother. Angry by the officer's words, Min started yelling. Then, in a flashback of the accident scene, just moments before the crash, Min was actually speaking to his mother. As soon as the accident happened, he heard her scream and immediately ran toward the scene. Nearby people had already called an ambulance. She was put into it, but because there wasn't enough space, Min went to get another taxi. He left his mother's taxi at the scene so that the evidence wouldn't be lost. Despite this, the officers still suspected him. On the other side, we saw Min's friend Suri in the hospital. Grandma called her and invited her home for a meal, hoping that Min and Suri's relationship would grow closer than just friendship. Meanwhile, Jojin noticed that another doctor, Zung Woo, was treating patients improperly. Although the patient survived, Jojin later called a nurse and reviewed the records of other operations. He was shocked to find that many patients had died after Youngwoo joined the hospital. Elsewhere, a passenger entered Min's taxi. He seemed a little odd, but later revealed that he was a Heisaman, a person who could see spirits. He told Min that the girl's spirit was not actually attached to the taxi, but to an object inside it. Suddenly, Min remembered the old white phone. When he took the phone far away, it flew back toward him, proving that Kang's spirit was connected to that phone. In the middle of this, an accidental kiss happened between the two, and afterward, they couldn't even make eye contact. Later, the phone's battery ran out, and Kang disappeared. Min rushed home and started searching for a charger, but the phone had a very outdated port, and chargers of that type were no longer available, so he decided to buy one from the market the next day. The next day, instead of buying a charger, he ended up going shopping with Grandma. Since Kang wasn't with him now, everything felt quite normal to him, but Grandma found the old phone and threw it into the dustbin. Min couldn't retrieve it. However, the whole day went really well for him as he got many passengers. For a moment, he even thought maybe he should forget about Kang. Meanwhile, Kang found herself in another realm where her condition was worsening. If she wasn't rescued soon, she would disappear forever. In the next scene, we saw Min's friend Shea. He leased out some of his taxis, one of which he had given to a girl named Nasu, who was a mutual friend of Min and Sheok. Nasu's mother suffered from memory loss, so Nasu always traveled with her. But that day, her mother went missing. Nasu, along with Sheok and Min, searched for her mother everywhere. After a long search, they finally found her with a police officer. It turned out she was playing with a child, and seeing this, the child's mother thought the old lady was bothering her child, so she handed her over to the police. After rescuing her mother, Nasu told Min that her mom was like a ghost to the world. People saw her, but nobody truly wanted to see her because of her memory loss. She couldn't remember anyone anymore. And apart from Nasu, she had no one else left in the world. Hearing all this, Min realized that Kang really was a ghost, and just like Nasu's mom, she had no one else in this world except him. So he rushed back to retrieve the phone from the dustbin, bought a new charger, and charged it. As soon as the phone powered on, Kang reappeared in the world. She immediately collapsed onto his hands and asked how he managed to save her. Min jokingly said he bought a charger. Kang replied that a greedy person like him who only cared about money wouldn't usually spend so much on someone, but he had truly won her heart. After that, she went back on taxi rides with him, but passengers now refused to ride in his taxi. Meanwhile, banks kept sending him notification alerts and threats. Min started to feel really bad about everything. Then Kang once again suggested the ghost taxi idea. On the other side, we saw that Suri had developed feelings for Do-jun. She went with Do-jun to attend the funeral of a child patient who had died very young. Do-jin was personally attached to his patients. He genuinely cared for them, and Suri found all this very admirable. Youngwoop, on the other hand, was quite troubled by something secretive. The next day, Kang took Min to a taxi stand where there were no humans, only ghost passengers. There, they encountered the spirit of a boy who turned out to be Kang's childhood friend. As soon as he saw Kang, he called her by her name. Then the boy told Min and Kang about Kang's real identity. Hearing this, Kang felt very happy because someone had finally recognized her after so long. He took them both to his home and showed them childhood pictures of himself and Kang. Kang was thrilled to see these because it was the first time someone had confirmed her identity after so many days. The boy's name was Sunbo. He asked Kang if the boy with her was her boyfriend, to which Kang said no. Taking advantage of the situation, Sunbo told Min that if he needed money, he should come with him. He promised Min a lot of money in exchange for helping him fulfill a dream. Sunbo said he wanted to date Kang. Next, we saw how ghosts could change clothes so they could go on a date. The next day, they went shopping together. For ghosts to change clothes, they just had to pass through them. After shopping, they also went on a movie date. Sunbo and Kang were enjoying their time like a sweet couple, while Min was watching them and feeling jealous. Sunbo decided to propose to Kang and had made special arrangements for it. But Min didn't take him there that day. Instead, he told Sunbo there was no need to meet her. Kang said she didn't love Sunbo, but she was only spending time with him so Min could get the money to repay his loan. Hearing this, Min felt deeply touched, and the next day, he took her to meet Sunbo. Outside, Min was sitting and talking with his friend Shayok. Shayok told him that if he truly loved someone, he should go and confess his feelings. Even if he got rejected, it would hurt, but at least it would be better than never saying anything at all. Min replied that the girl was already with someone else. Shayok said that meant he should act even faster. Meanwhile, Sunbo was preparing to propose to Kang, but suddenly, he didn't. Instead, he told Kang that there was a reason he brought her there. He explained that from his time in the spirit world, he had learned a few things about how spirits attain liberation. A spirit could leave this world in only two ways. One, if their last wish was fulfilled, and two, if the spirit fell in love. He said that when he was alive, he wanted to love her, and now, as a ghost, that final wish was fulfilled. Now maybe he could move on. Kang thanked him sincerely for helping her recover her identity. He warned her not to fall in love with any human, or she would disappear like he was about to and never be able to recover her lost memories. Just as Min arrived there, Sunbo disappeared. At this moment, it became clear that both Min and Kang had developed feelings for each other. But Kang took a step back because if she fell in love with Min, she too would vanish like Sunbo. Min placed a talisman on Kang's head and asked her to confess her feelings. As Kang closed her eyes while wearing the talisman, she started having visions of her past. In those visions, we saw her with the same old man from the beginning of the story, and was revealed that the old man was once an officer and Kang was actually his daughter. Kang too had been an officer. Now the two officers who were handling both Min's mom's and Kang's cases. They visited Kang's father to ask him some questions, but he appeared to be hiding something. Then they checked some CCTV footage where it was revealed that Min's mother was struck by a person on a bike. However, the rider's face couldn't be seen because of the helmet. It wasn't clear whether the person was a man or a woman. They traced the footage to a hospital, the same hospital where Dojin and Suri worked. Now their suspicions extended to the hospital as well, since Min's mother was taken there after the accident. The next day, Min and Kang came across a small passenger, a child who could see Kang. The child told them that ever since his parents were gone, he could see spirits. He explained to Min that his taxi was known for fulfilling good deeds and asked if he could help find his sister, who had been missing for several days. Min suggested that maybe the child should be taken to the authorities. The child told them that both the officers and his teacher believed his sister ran away from home. He added that it was his birthday the previous day, and his sister had never left him alone on his birthday. He pleaded with them to let her know and to help him find her. Min asked for the address of his house, and they took him there. His grandmother thanked Min for bringing her grandson home and offered them some money. Min mentioned that the money was too little, so the grandmother went inside to get more. Kang pointed out that Min was taking money from a child and an elderly woman. Hearing that, Min gave all the money back to the child and asked him to stay with his grandmother. He even cooked food at their house. Afterward, Min didn't want to help the child look for his sister because he didn't want to get unnecessarily involved in someone else's life. But after some time, he eventually agreed. The next day, both of them went to meet the child's sister's friends. All the girls belonged to rich families. When they met, they started accusing Haeol, the missing girl, of being the one who probably ran away from home. Among those girls, one couldn't tolerate the harsh things being said about Haeol and ran off. Min and Kang noticed this and began chasing after her. On the way, a group of goons attacked them, and goons who were sent by the same other girls. Fortunately, Haeol's best friend saw the goons and quickly asked the police officers for help. The same two officers showed up and fought off the attackers. Min and Kang were rescued, though Min got badly injured and was treated by Dojin. Later, Kang told Min to forgive her, explaining that she was the one who convinced him to do all of this and that he got hurt because of it. Min replied that there was no need to worry, since he chose to do it all by himself, and said they would continue searching for her. But the next morning, they found Hyeol's bag and phone near a river, along with her last written note, which suggested she had committed suicide. The officers treated it as a suicide case, but Kang grew suspicious after reading the note because he had earlier noticed her handwriting style in Hyeol's room, that she always signed her notes, but this particular note lacked a signature. The thing is that Hyo's best friend and she were working as part-time workers. It revealed how all the other students used to bully her in school. Hyo didn't like this at all and always encouraged her friend to stand up to the bullies. Mira, the ringleader, constantly tried to scare her. One day, on a mountain, the same bullying happened again, and Hyo came to protect her. But while on the mountain, something went wrong and Hyo slipped and fell to her death. Witnessing this, Mira became extremely frightened. She scared the other girls by revealing the truth, saying that if they spoke up, they would all get into trouble. Hyo's best friend eventually told this entire story to Min. All three of them then went to the top of the mountain to search for Hyo. While looking around, Min almost fell off a cliff, but Kang suddenly caught her hand and saved her. Kang couldn't believe she managed to grab his hand, since she was a soul. After that, they discovered Hyo's body and took her to the car, and she was still breathing, which meant she was left there alive. The child, his brother, and their grandmother rushed her to the hospital, but despite all efforts, the doctors failed to save Dojin Hyal. She passed away shortly after. Her spirit came to the little boy and his brother and said she was sorry for not being there on his last birthday. The boy wept deeply seeing his sister in that state. He told her over and over that she couldn't leave him and kept asking if it was really her. Just as her spirit was about to disappear, Dojun didn't give up on her and, like a miracle, Hyol started breathing again. The next day, Hyol and her brother met again, and her best friend also visited them with her favorite dish, and they all shared a joyful reunion. Later, Min and Kang returned home. On the way, Min confessed to Kang that he liked her. Kang liked him too, but she couldn't say anything because she would disappear. She told him that a human and a spirit couldn't fall in love. Meanwhile, Kang informed the officers that, according to his sources, a hospital staff member may have been involved in the incident. Everyone grew suspicious of Jungwoo. Dojin finally dismissed Jungwoo from the hospital, but he tried to blackmail them by saying he knew a secret that could destroy the hospital's reputation. Meanwhile, Min and Kang went on a date and happened to run into Dojin and Suri, who were also on a date. Upon seeing Dojin, Kang suddenly experienced a flashback and told Min that the man recognized her and asked him to show him her photo. It was then revealed that Dojin already knew Kang and explained that she died on the same day as Min's mother. This discovery hinted at a deeper connection between their fates. They quickly passed on this information to the officers, but the officers replied that it might just be a coincidence. Afterward, the officers began suspecting a senior nurse named Hei. Meanwhile, Min and Kang continued to look into the mystery of death as Min grew more suspicious about how many things connected his mother and Kang. While investigating further, they met the soul of a man who had been staying on the hospital terrace for months. That man told them he could help, but only if they fulfilled his last wish. They agreed. Kang reflected on their situation, saying it was sad that no matter how much someone loves another, the thought of being separated one day brings anxiety. Min responded by asking whether they should be afraid of that day or focus on the days they still had to live freely. After that, he kissed Kang. The next day, they went on another date, during which they got into a fight. This reminded them about the man who offered to help. They found out that his name was Du. He was once an officer, and Kang's father was his friend. Though Kang was no longer alive, Du knew a lot about the case because he had spent years confined in that hospital. In return for his information, he asked them to fulfill his final wish to say goodbye to his daughter, who lived abroad. It turned out that his daughter recently came to Korea to give a speech, and when they tried to meet her, she left in anger upon hearing her father's name. She hated him for never giving her time, always being consumed by his work. Du was heartbroken after hearing this. Later, Min helped the girl emotionally and brought her to the old house where she and her father used to live. There, Du sat sadly every day, regretting that he couldn't care for his daughter. He had even sold her away in childhood. Though he couldn't fix the past, he just wanted to apologize and give her those moments of peace. He also reminded him of the time they had spent together. She was able to hear all these things through the young man. At first, she couldn't believe it since she was a scientist and didn't believe in ghosts, but when she heard so many personal details coming directly from the young man's mouth, she had no choice but to believe. At that moment, she broke down in tears and forgave her father. Du's final wish to apologize to his daughter was now fulfilled. After this, he revealed a secret related to the case. He gave them an address and told them to go there, saying they would understand everything once they reached that place. As soon as he said this, he disappeared. On the other side, the scene shifts to Dr. Dojin's hospital, where Young-woo suddenly attacks Dojin with a knife. Young-woo then escaped. Following this, Nurse Hyun approached Dojin, and it was revealed that she had a special connection to him because she was actually the caretaker of Dojin's father. Meanwhile, Kang and the young man reached the address Do had given. There they found a dead body. The address turned out to be connected to Young-woo. Inside the room, there were many photographs, including some of Min. It was then revealed that Nurse Hyun lived in the neighboring flat. When she saw Min near the dead body, she immediately called the police, and Min was arrested. At the same time, another secret was uncovered. Kang's father entered a secret room in his house, where it was revealed that his daughter, Min Kang, was still alive and receiving treatment. She was actually in a coma, not dead. While in police custody, Min requested his friends not to let his grandmother know about the situation. He was kept in custody overnight. The next day, both officers came and released him, saying that they had found the real killer. It was Jung-woo. The motorbike used in the murder belonged to Young-woo, and the dead body in the house also belonged to the woman he had killed. After this, Kang stepped out and noticed a photo pinned to the board. It showed Kang with her father. Upon seeing it, both Kang and Min realized that Kang was his daughter. They went to meet her at her house. When Kang saw her father, she became very emotional. Earlier, she had told Min not to reveal to her father that she was a spirit, but Min, who posed as her friend, told Kang that he had known his daughter for years and that she and his mother were very close, and both of them had died on the same day. He suspected that the two cases might be connected. Kang's father agreed that it was possible, but said there was still a secret he hadn't yet shared. He acknowledged that the young man had been friends with his son, but admitted he still didn't fully trust him and needed time to think. He was referring to the secret related to Kang's coma. Afterward, he went to her room and spoke to her unconscious body, asking whether he should tell Min the truth about her still being alive. Meanwhile, Kang and Min encountered the spirit of the woman whose body had been found in the apartment. The spirit told them that Young-woo hadn't killed her, he was actually her boyfriend, and he hadn't murdered anyone. After hearing this, they set out to find Young-woo, believing he was the only person who knew the identity of the real murderer. However, there was a CCTV camera installed directly above the spot where they were talking to the spirit. Although spirits don't appear on camera, Dr. Do-jun was able to observe the footage, but he couldn't see the spirit. But he noticed that Min was interacting with something invisible, which immediately caught his attention. Meanwhile, a woman who had a speech disorder was admitted to the hospital. As soon as Do-jun learned that the elderly woman was the mother of Min's friend, he gave a strange, unsettling smile. The very next day, her funeral was held, implying that Do-jun had killed her. Shockingly, he even attended the funeral to express false grief. But when Kang watched him carefully, he noticed that instead of crying, Do-jun kept giving sinister smiles. Kang grew suspicious and told Min to ask him why he was there. When questioned, Do-jun said he was attending the funeral of a special patient, but Kang wasn't convinced. Then, Yosu's mother's spirit appeared before the young man. When he told Yosu about it, she didn't believe him until her mother shared private memories that only Yosu could have known. This made her accept the truth. After that, they went on a road trip together because it had been her mother's last wish to go on a long trip with her beloved daughter. Once that wish was fulfilled, her mother's spirit also disappeared, finding peace and freedom. Later, when Min returned to his house, he discovered that Dr. Do-jun had already come to visit. Do-jun claimed that Min's grandmother had called him, but Kang noticed that Do-jun was secretly inspecting the house, which increased her suspicion toward him. It was then shown that Dr. Do-jun had actually kept Young-woo tied up in a hidden location, revealing that Do-jun was behind all of the dark events that had unfolded. Later, Kang went alone to Nurse Hyun's room, where she discovered that the motorbike involved in the murder actually belonged to the nurse. After uncovering this truth, Kang asked Min to reveal the real murderer to everyone. She asks him to give the photo to the officers, and he does exactly that. Then, Dr. Joo-jin kills Jung-woo and kidnaps Min. While holding him captive, he reveals that everything that had been happening so far was orchestrated by him alone. He confesses to killing Min's mother and Kang as well. Laughing, he tells Min that while he was killing them, Min believed he was saving them. He says, "You were praying for me to save their lives, but I was the one ending them. How strange it is that you spent all this time respecting the man who murdered your own mother." From here, we go into a flashback. We see how Min's mother used to drive a taxi every day. However, at the time, Min didn't treat her well because he was embarrassed that his mother drove a taxi just to bring money home. He didn't like it at all. Meanwhile, Kang was a police officer who had teamed up with a group of taxi drivers, including Min's mother, to catch criminals. That's how Kang and Min's mother became close friends. One day, Min's mother gave her hairband to Kang, who wore it to a party. This party was actually part of an investigation where they were trying to get information about a victim through Nurse, who was Kang's friend. That same night, she brought Hyun to her home, where Dr. Do-jun was also present. They gave her a drink that made her unconscious. Then, as usual, Dr. Do-jun came out and was about to kill her while recording a video, just like he did with his other victims, but Kang somehow regained consciousness and escaped. Coincidentally, Min's mother's taxi was parked nearby and she helped Kang get inside. Just then, Dr. Do-jun arrived. While talking to his son Min over the phone, he ran after the taxi and she tried to drive away, but suddenly, someone on a motorcycle came from behind and killed her with a brutal attack. Min was nearby and rushed to the scene. Dr. Do-jun looked inside the car and saw that Kang had died, so he called an ambulance. Meanwhile, Min followed his mother with another taxi. The original taxi, which his mother had been driving, still had Kang inside, and she wasn't dead, just unconscious. The person on the bike dropped her off at Kang's house. The phone that was left in the taxi belonged to Kang, and her soul later became connected to it. Dr. Do-jun had killed many people, no one knows how many, and he always made videos of his victims. He got pleasure from watching them suffer. He was a psychopathic killer who enjoyed both saving lives and taking them. He showed all these videos to Min about how he killed his mother Kang and his friend's mother. He used a lethal injection to kill them, and the supplier of the drugs was none other than Jang-woo. After killing, Nurse Hyun handled the rest of the cleanup. Actually, Dr. Do-jun wanted to get rid of Jung-woo because he no longer wanted to be involved in his crimes, so Do-jun killed both Jung-woo and his girlfriend. After revealing all of this, Dr. Do-jun set fire to kill Min. But Kang tried her best to save him, and in the process, she gained a strange power that allowed her to save Min. The police arrived just in time because Min had shared his location with Kang earlier. The officers rescued him, but by then, Jang-woo was already dead. Dr. Do-jun watched everything from a distance. Hyun arrived and said that as long as she was alive, she wouldn't let anything bad happen to Do-jun. Meanwhile, Kang returned home, locked herself in a room, and cried uncontrollably. She blamed herself for the death of Min's mother. Sometime later, Dr. Do-jun showed up at the police station himself, but since there was no concrete evidence, the officers had no choice but to let him go. Later, he discussed with Hyun that Min seemed to have something that allowed him to uncover all the truths behind the cases. Young agreed and said she also saw him talking to himself, so they planted a hidden camera inside Min's taxi. From then on, Do-jun was able to monitor Min all the time. The spirits of Jung-woo, his girlfriend, and Kang were still present, and they were all furious. Jung-woo especially wanted revenge on Do-jun for killing him and his girlfriend. Min promised to help them and take revenge. After that, Jung-woo and his girlfriend disappeared. Kang gave Min an idea that Jung-woo had once recorded a video that could serve as evidence against Dr. Do-jun. They went to his old house and retrieved the recording. When Jung-woo saw the footage, he was terrified, realizing that the police would now catch him. He fled and went into hiding at a secret location. At that moment, Min began wondering how the two of them knew about the recording. He was sure he had hidden it somewhere, so he checked his taxi and discovered a hidden camera inside. Upon seeing it, everything became clear to him. He looked directly into the camera and said that they should wait for him as he was on his way. Then he walked toward the vehicle and declared that they now had proof and would find Do-jun and kill him. Hearing this, Haeyeon, filled with fear, rushed to Do-jun. The two of them quickly fled while being chased. Haeyeon then left the place at Do-jun's request. After that, Min attempted to catch Do-jun and ended up finding an old phone. The moment he held the phone, Do-jun was suddenly able to see Kang. This left him shocked. He questioned how she was still alive and gradually realized that it was Kang's soul helping Min from the beginning. He told Min that although he had come a long way, he wouldn't be allowed to go further. He burned the phone, which made Kang vanish forever. By that time, the officers arrived and arrested Do-jun, but surprisingly, Do-jun seemed overjoyed, feeling as though he had defeated Min. Seeing Min cry, Kang's father asked what had happened. Min explained that Kang's daughter's soul had been with him the whole time, but now she was gone. She had been helping him from the beginning and had even come to Kang's house with him. Then Kang's father took him to the secret room. When Min saw Kang alive, his happiness knew no limits. He was overwhelmed with joy. Meanwhile, Hyun went to the police station and took full responsibility, saving Do-jun. Do-jun then got a job as a doctor, but that night, Hyun committed suicide in prison, leaving the officers completely shocked. Later, Dr. Do-jun learned that Kang was admitted to his hospital. Upon hearing that she had been in a coma, he tried to kill her secretly so he could destroy all the evidence related to him. But just then, Kang opened her eyes and said hello to him. Do-jun was terrified and Min managed to catch him. Even with the help of all the officers, they couldn't catch him. Do-jun held Kang at gunpoint and tried to escape. A heated argument took place along the way. Eventually, Do-jun met with an accident and they were able to capture him. After this, Kang and Min finally reunited. In prison, some spirits visited Dr. Do-jun and gave him a painful death. These spirits were the very people he had wronged. Their revenge was now complete. After that, Kang rejoined her job as an officer, but her superior granted her a day off. During that break, she went on a date. Now that she was human again, she and Min enjoyed their time together. Min then visited a shaman, asking why he had seen so many spirits except his mother's. The shaman replied that she was trapped somewhere, as her last wish remained unfulfilled. He would find her there. Both of them followed the shaman's directions, which pointed them toward a restaurant. Min arrived at a special restaurant that had been his mother's favorite. There, he finally saw her. She began crying upon seeing her son after so long and said she had always believed he would come one day. Min apologized, but she told him it wasn't his fault. Kang promised her that he would always support her son and never leave him. She begged her for forgiveness, saying that if he hadn't met her that day, she might still be alive. But Min's mother insisted it wasn't her fault. She was just happy that her son would always be happy with Kang. Her final wish was to cook her son's favorite food, and it was now fulfilled, and with that she disappeared, finally free. The next day, the grandmother was preparing food at home and imagined that Min had come for dinner with his girlfriend. Her eyes then opened and she realized it had been a dream. But just then, the door opened and Min was actually standing there with his girlfriend, coming for dinner. Looking at Kang, the grandmother said she was the girl of her dreams and hugged her.